Hey guys, this is Torrent. Today we're going to be talking about Ravnica Remastered, new set coming out the 12th of January. Now this is going to be basically taking a whole bunch of cards from, I believe it's 13 different sets that are to do with Ravnica or Ravnica Commanders, or, you know, there's even some in here from different jump starts and stuff like that that are all to do with Ravnica. Bring together a whole bunch of different reprints and stuff, bringing them with, you know, some fancy stuff, some fancy anime borders, some borderless lands there, some really cool stuff. And I will say this before we get into it, I do think that this set is really cool, and I think that there's some really great reprints in here, and I think that some of the anime ones look really nice. I will say about the anime ones that some of them look a lot better than others. Some of them just look very generically anime, like who is it, like Aurelia here, just very generically anime girl, while something like Karlov looks really nice. Savra I really love. There's some really nice ones in here, but basically, you know, what we're here to talk about is, do I think it's worth going and buying some booster packs of Ravnica, buying, like, you know, a draft box or something like that? And I will say that this is only available as a draft. It's only draft boosters or collector boosters. One of, you know, those are your two options there if you want to get it. No set boosters, nothing like that. It's purely a set that's kind of designed around drafting, and it does look like a very fun set to draft. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun to draft, a lot of fun to do, like, you know, whether it's going to be sealed or, you know, drafting. Either one of those is going to be really great. And both of them look really nice. So let's go through some of the cards that are going to be here, because I think that's kind of important to talk about. One thing is that there was a number of cards, 6 cards here, that were changed from rare up to mythic rare. There are some that were downgraded, some that were taken from common up to uncommon, but a fair few that were downgraded as well. But I wanted to look at these ones because these ones here are going to be thus rarer. When you see, you know, Ravnica and people, like, you know, talk about the reprints and stuff like that, people are going to talk about stuff like, you know, Cyclonic Rift, Cloudstone Curio, Guardian Project, Teferi, Protean, Khan even. All 6 of these are cards that are really great. All 6 of them have been bumped up to mythic rare, thus they're going to be rarer. I was actually really lucky, and I got myself a Cyclonic Rift from Commander Masters, with the Commander Masters that I opened up, but, you know, now it's going to be harder to be able to get it. So I think that it's going to have less an effect on the prices of these cards. So let's have a look. So first up is Brewback, insanely great mill card, only available either via the list or Jumpstart. If you see, you know, I just want to show you this real quick so that way you know. You know, 34 kind of dollar card there. Insanely great in any kind of mill deck. Any of those cards that, like, you know, mill half an opponent's deck. If they're milling half of their deck twice, then they're milling all of their deck. It's going to be a card that, you know, a lot of people are going to be after. I was literally talking to my friend just then about his deck around Captain Calamari. And, you know, this is going to be a great card in that. You've got the breeding pool, so this is one of the shock lands. The shock lands is going to be the other thing that people are going to talk about, you know, having all 10 of the shock lands in there. They're cards that are really sought after. They're insanely great for Commander, insanely great in other game modes as well. But, you know, in Commander, especially that's what I play, and that's what I'm kind of focusing on here, is that they are going to be something that's going to be sought after, and a lot of people are going to be after. However, you know, again, they're going to be rare lands, so they're going to be harder for you to be able to get, but they're also going to be incredibly strong. There's lots of different versions of them in there as well. There's borderless versions of them, and then there's I believe the classic retro arts of them as well in there. We've got Protein Hulk here, not as expensive, but still a card that got bumped up to mythic, and a card that is used in some decks. We've got Karlov getting a reprint here. Cheapest card that he's got is, like, you know, $17 or something like that. Hasn't been reprinted in a while, but, you know, a card that people are going to be after. What's that, like, was it Jumpstart 2021? No, Commander 2015. otherwise Judge Cards 2021. So it's a card that hasn't been reprinted in a while. It's still one that's really great, especially when there's a lot of life gain stuff kind of going around, especially with the most recent set with Lost Caverns. There's some really nice life gain commanders and stuff in there. So this seeing a reprint is really nice. We've got Cloudstone Curio. So whenever a non-artifact permanent comes into play under your control, you may return another permanent you control that shares. This is a card that, you know, hasn't been reprinted in quite a while. You got the Tales of Middle-earth Commander reprint there. Or back in, you know, OG Ravnica. You know, it's nice to see one. Spark Double, going to be a card that people are after. Cyclonic Rift's going to be, like, you know, one of the big ones here. Lord of the Void looks really nice. Still only, like, you know, reprinted since first reprinting since it initially came out in Gatecrash. Looks really nice. Dark Confidant, back from Double Masters. Khan, the Great Betrayer there, last from War of the Spark promos, or War of the Spark. We've got Liliana here, again, War of the Spark. We've got Court of Calling there, last from Double Masters. Life from the Loam. So there's a lot of really, really nice kind of reprints in here. You know, a lot of, you know, $5 plus reprints, some, you know, like some of the War of the Spark ones coming back, like $10 ones kind of thing. Cryptghast there, $10. When was that? 2014 or Gatecrash? Yeah, way back then was the last reprint for that. Hellkite Tyrant. You know, there's just a bunch of really nice cards that are being reprinted here. So I will say that there are a lot of really nice cards in here. Now, does that justify going and purchasing, you know, a draft box to open for yourself, just some draft boosters to open for yourself? I don't believe so. You know, a lot of these really nice cards that I'm showing off are, you know, rares or mythics and stuff, which means that, you know, you're not going to be very likely to get them. If you're going hunting for something in specific, you're not really going to be specifically being able to get things like that. Like if you have a look at some of the mythics, you've also got, you know, some that are just not worth much at all. You've got, you know, some of the, even like the rares that aren't really worth too much, based on like their most recent reprints and stuff. So if you're kind of relying on wanting to get like specific things and stuff, then you're going to be in for a bad time. If you buy a box and are trying to go after something specific, then you're going to be in for a bad time. If you're looking to, you know, go and expand your collection and going to, try and, like, you know, build up your collection and, you know, just open stuff for fun, I don't think draft boosters are all that fun to just open for fun. The draft boosters are fun for drafting, but I don't think that they're all that great for fun. Collector boosters, I think it's just I will say this, I think collector boosters are a scam. They're incredibly expensive, and I think that they're not really worth it, especially for a set like this. I think that, you know, we got some collector boosters for the Doctor Who stuff, and that was really nice because they had a lot of different stuff in it, and it was stuff that you weren't going to be able to get anywhere else. It's going to be stuff that, you know, it's going to be valuable and stuff like that. But that was purely just because I love Doctor Who. If you're someone who, you know, absolutely loves Ravnica, maybe Ravnica Remastered, collector boosters are for you, but personally I don't think that they're worth it, and I don't think that the draft boosters are going to be worth it individually. But that kind of leads us to, Tori, you just told us about all these amazing cards, but you're just telling us not to get them. And that's not what I'm telling you. I'm not telling you not to get them specifically. I'm telling you that it's probably better off for you to wait until other people go and open them and then go buy singles. Go buy singles from your local game shop or, you know, Card Kingdom or something like that. Go buy some singles for these cards, because as inevitably when they kind of get open, like having a look at, like, you know, Spark Double or something like that, inevitably as people kind of open it, they reprinted it recently and stuff like that, it kind of ends up kind of going down in price. That's just, you know, inevitably what happens, because there's more of them out there, therefore there's more supply to be able to kind of meet the demand for these kind of high value cards. The other thing is that we don't know how many cards will exactly be reprinted in the next set in Murders of Karlov Manor. You know, given the fact that this set here is based on set on Ravnica as well, we don't know if there's going to be any kind of reprints from these Ravnica cards or anything. We've already seen that Lightning Helix, for example, is going to be getting a reprint in the new set. Whether that means that other ones are going to be or not, we'll see. Who knows? But personally, I just don't think that it's you're going to get enough value out from this just to purchase, you know, draft boosters just to open for just for opening for specific cards or anything like that. Go buy the singles and go take part in a draft, whether that's a sealed draft or whether it's, you know, just a drafting with other people, whether it's at home, whether it's at, you know, your LGS or something like that. Go check it out. But that's it for today, guys. There's lots of really, really nice cards in here that I'm super excited to see. I'm super excited to see what the effect on like the Shocklands is, with between the Shocklands coming back in Ravnica Remastered and then the Shocklands being in the Murders at Karlov Manor, the clue as box toppers on the clue as well. We'll see exactly what ends up kind of happening here. I hope you guys had a wonderful day, and goodbye.